What if instead of Kaigaku, Zenitsu was the one who got transformed into a demon? Would Zenitsu still be the same scared boy we know, or would his fear completely disappear? And if Zenitsu was fighting on Muzan's side, would the Demon Slayer Corps even stand a chance anymore? Well, I found 3 different theories that completely changed the story. And in the first theory, Zenitsu becomes a demon very late in the story, almost during the Infinity Castle arc itself. The moment he transforms, his fear completely disappears. For the first time in his entire life, Zenitsu can fight without crying, shaking, or running away. His thunder breathing merges with his demon blood and creates something entirely new: Godspeed Ruin, a technique so fast it looks like teleportation to anyone watching. This is Zenitsu without fear holding him back, and the difference is terrifying. When the Infinity Castle arc begins, Zenitsu finds Kaigaku just like in the original story. But this time, the fight barely lasts a few seconds. Demon Zenitsu is simply too fast and too strong. He kills Kaigaku instantly, without anger, without pride, and without a single emotion on his face. He doesn't care about proving himself to Muzan. His real target has always been Tanjiro. When Zenitsu finally finds Tanjiro inside the castle, he traps him in a collapsing corridor filled with lightning. Their fight is brutal. Tanjiro's sun-breathing struggles to keep up with Zenitsu's overwhelming speed. Zenitsu shows no hesitation and no mercy. The battle becomes less about strength and more about resolve. One mistake decides everything. If Zenitsu wins, then Tanjiro dies right there, and the Demon Slayers lose their absolute best fighter against Muzan. If Tanjiro manages to win, then he has to live the rest of his life knowing he killed his best friend with his own hands. Either way, the final battle against Muzan and his demons will be completely different, and way harder to win than in the original story. Now that's just one of the 3 possibilities if Zenitsu becomes a demon instead of Kaigaku. In the second theory, Zenitsu is transformed much earlier in the story, right in the middle of all the major arcs. But something extremely unsettling happens after this transformation. Becoming a demon doesn't just suppress his fear, it erases it completely from his personality. The very thing that defines Zenitsu vanishes overnight. His thunder breathing begins to mutate into something entirely new called void thunder breathing, a style where Zenitsu doesn't even think about attacking anymore. His body moves automatically, purely on instinct, striking the lightning before anyone can react. At first, Zenitsu desperately tries to avoid killing innocent humans. He still remembers his friends, his training, and his life as a demon slayer. He hides in the shadows, constantly running from his demonic hunger and forcing himself to survive without feeding. For a while, he actually manages to resist it, but demons can't escape their hunger forever. Eventually, Zenitsu is forced into a situation where killing a human becomes unavoidable. The moment he crosses that line, something inside him shatters permanently. There's no return after that first kill. With every human he consumes afterward, Zenitsu becomes faster, sharper, and more lethal. His Demon Slayer techniques don't fade, they evolve. Each kill pushes his transformation further, completing what Muzan started. This single change begins to rewrite the entire story. Across Japan, the Demon Slayer Corps starts failing missions at an alarming rate. Skilled slayers vanish without any signs of battle, leaving behind no bodies and no clues. Panic spreads, but no one understands what's happening. What the Corps doesn't realize is that Muzan has turned Zenitsu into a silent executioner. Zenitsu is sent specifically to eliminate promising demon slayers before they grow strong enough to challenge Muzan. He moves through the night like a ghost, killing high-value targets without ever being seen. Months pass, and the balance of the war quietly tilts in Muzan's favor. When Tanjiro finally tracks Zenitsu down after months of searching, he tries to remind him of their friendship and the memories they shared. But Zenitsu doesn't cry, shout, or panic. He listens in complete silence. Then, without warning, he attacks. During their brutal fight, Tanjiro realizes something horrifying. Zenitsu's fear was never his weakness. It was the last thing holding his humanity together. And without it, what stands before Tanjiro is far more dangerous than Kaigaku could ever be. And one of the biggest problems in this timeline is that without Zenitsu fighting on their side, the Demon Slayers are losing way faster than they ever did in the original story. In this new third theory, Muzan makes a completely different decision that's kind of shocking when you think about it. Zenitsu becomes a demon at the very beginning of the story, long before any of the major events take place. And from that moment onward, everything slowly starts falling apart piece by piece. During a routine mission in a small village, Muzan encounters Zenitsu completely by accident and decides to do something truly cruel. He injects Zenitsu with a massive amount of his blood, the same amount he later forces into Tanjiro during the final battle in the original story. Normally, this much demon blood would instantly kill any human without leaving even the slightest chance of survival. But somehow, against all odds, Zenitsu survives. His thunder breathing, which he trained relentlessly to master, keeps his body stable just enough for the demonic transformation to finish without destroying him from the inside. When Zenitsu finally wakes up, he's confused, terrified, and completely overwhelmed by what he's become. Acting purely on panic, he attacks everything around him and escapes into the night, before Tanjiro or anyone else can stop him or help him. From that moment forward, Zenitsu completely disappears from the story. No one knows where he went, or even if he's still alive. This single change creates a massive ripple effect across the entire timeline. Without Zenitsu present during the Mount Nanagumo arc, Inosuke is pushed dangerously close to death while fighting the Spider Demon family. The mission against Rui is technically completed, but only barely. Far more Demon Slayers die brutal deaths than in the original story, and the survivors are left deeply traumatized by what they witnessed. Things somehow get even worse during the Mugen train arc. Zenitsu's absence creates chaos on board the train, leading to far more civilian deaths. Rengoku fights desperately to protect everyone, but he simply doesn't have enough support. When he sacrifices himself against Akaza, he dies with the crushing belief that he failed his duty to protect the innocent, a feeling that haunts his final moments. Eventually, terrifying rumors spread across Japan. Zenitsu Agatsuma, the student of the legendary Jigoro Kuwajima, has become a demon and is killing people in the shadows. When Jigoro hears this devastating news, he commits seppuku, taking full responsibility for his failure as a teacher, just like in the original timeline with Kaigaku. This moment completely severs Zenitsu's last emotional connection to his human life. With his master gone, there's nothing left anchoring him to who he once was. Forced to hunt and consume humans just to survive, Zenitsu's power begins increasing at an unnatural rate. Over time, his fear vanishes entirely, replaced by cold, ruthless efficiency. His thunder breathing evolves into a terrifying blood demon art he eventually names Sleep of the Thunder God, a state where his speed, strength, and regeneration multiply while he fights unconsciously on pure instinct. The less aware he is, the more dangerous he becomes. Even experienced Hashira struggle to react to his inhuman speed. After Daki and Gyutaro are defeated, Muzan needs a replacement for Upper Moon 6. Instead of choosing Kaigaku, Muzan chooses Zenitsu, seeing far greater potential in him. Unlike Kaigaku, Zenitsu doesn't seek praise or validation. He follows Muzan's orders silently and executes them with perfect precision. Over the next several months, the Demon Slayer Corps begins losing support squads, messengers, and key personnel at an alarming rate. The killings are silent, clean, and impossible to trace. What the Corps doesn't realize is that Zenitsu has been hunting them methodically, eliminating crucial targets without leaving witnesses. By the time the Infinity Castle arc begins, the Demon Slayer Corps is already collapsing from within. They're exhausted, understaffed, and completely demoralized. Zenitsu is already inside the castle, waiting. He encounters Kaigaku, still human in this timeline, and kills him instantly without hesitation or recognition. He doesn't even remember who Kaigaku once was. Eventually, Zenitsu finds Tanjiro alone in the shifting corridors. Their battle is brutal and one-sided at first. Zenitsu shows no emotion, no hesitation, only absolute resolve. Tanjiro slowly realizes a horrifying truth. This Zenitsu isn't driven by hatred or rage. He's driven purely by purpose. And in the end, even if Muzan is defeated, the damage Zenitsu caused can never be undone. The Demon Slayers win, but the victory is hollow. Everything was lost long before the final battle even began. I honestly don't see how the damage caused by Zenitsu can be undone unless something completely unexpected happens, like someone even stronger than him appears. And that's exactly what I explored in this other video. Click on this video to see the strongest anime character I created. Could this character actually defeat Muzan one-on-one? Click on it and find out!